Hello friends, family, and internet strangers. Stephanie here with a new What's for Dinner video. This video is going to be all about utilizing leftovers, using up things that are in my fridge, and using the same ingredients multiple ways so that you don't get sick of them. So if that's what you're interested in, keep watching. This is also some pretty budget-friendly meals. First up, I had gotten Chinese takeout and I had had a lot of pork fried rice, but of course, even though I got that, my meal still came with white rice. So I was not too hungry this night. I decided, let me just have this white rice with some broccoli. So I put a little bit of garlic butter on my rice, put it in the microwave. Then I did some steamed broccoli. I put some of my corruption seasoning in there. If you've been here before, you've heard me mention that, and if not, I will link it down below. Then a little bit of that garlic butter in the broccoli as well. And I'm all about doing as few dishes as possible, so I have no problem pouring my seasonings and butter directly into my package of broccoli and then just shaking it up. So that's what I did here. I used one of my little soy sauce packets that had come with my Chinese takeout, put that on the rice, poured in a little bit of my broccoli, and then stirred that up, and that's it. It doesn't always have to be complicated. This was a really simple meal. I got some veggies in, I got some carbs in, it tasted good, and then I still had some broccoli left the next night, or I don't know how long after that this was. I still had some of that broccoli left, so I did just some plain Kraft mac and cheese, cooked according to the package with just a little bit extra milk because I like it nice and creamy, and some of that broccoli. Then I still had a little bit of that broccoli left, so I decided to do a leftover stir fry. I had one chicken breast left in my freezer that I wanted to use up before I restocked chicken. So I am just seasoning both sides of my chicken that I sliced up nice and thin with garlic salt, pepper, and a little bit of onion powder. And that's all I'm putting on my chicken for now. And then I'm going to heat up a pan with some avocado oil. Once that pan is nice and hot, throwing in my chicken and making sure that I spread that out so all of it cooks evenly. It did cook pretty quickly because of how thinly I sliced this, but make sure you are always cooking your chicken all the way through to 165 degrees Fahrenheit for an internal temperature. I am so paranoid about cooking chicken. I love to eat chicken, but I tend to not necessarily overcook it all the time, but I err on the side of caution, especially if I am cooking for other people. But this was just for myself, so I didn't overcook it too much. Once this is just slightly browned, but definitely cooked on both sides, you can see me cutting a piece in a little bit of half there to make sure that it's cooked through. Once it is cooked through to my satisfaction, I am going to remove my chicken from the pan. Now, I tend to make one lunch item per week, and then I will eat it for several days. And one of my favorite lunches to have are sliced bell peppers and then slices of cucumber. So I had some of my peppers rather, left over from my lunches for the week. I had finished all my cucumbers, but not all my peppers. So I decided this will go well with everything else I've got left over in the fridge. I also had onion because I usually have onion on hand. So sliced peppers, sliced onion, all that's going on here is a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of pepper, and then that's gonna get stirred up. And while this is browning up and getting nice and soft, I decide to make a little sauce to go on this. So this is just a winging it kind of sauce, throwing things together. So I put some soy sauce in a little container with a little bit of hoisin sauce, a little bit of sesame oil, and by little bit, I mean you'll see I am going drop by drop here on the sesame oil because it does tend to overpower things a little bit. So just a smidge of that, nothing here being measured as you can see, and then some ginger paste and a little bit of minced garlic going in, and a little dash of stevia for some sweetness, mixing this together. And then once all of my peppers and onions cook, I throw in the rest of my leftover broccoli because I still had some of that broccoli left. So again, utilizing ingredients in different ways so you don't get sick of them. So this is now 3 different times I've utilized this same broccoli that I cooked for the first part of this video. So once I've got that in there, I'm gonna throw in my chicken right there in the middle, add my sauce all over the top of this, and then stir it up until it's well combined. Once everything is fully cooked and I've given it a minute or two to let those juices of my sauce kind of soak into it, I can plate this up. This would go really well over rice. It would go well over quinoa as well, but I didn't feel like making any of those. Even though I did have uncooked rice on hand, I didn't feel the need for it. I wasn't too hungry this night, so I had this for dinner, and then the next day I had it for lunch. And then this is just a calzone. So this is some takeout that I ordered right before I went on a vacation. I did not want to buy any more food. So this was a deluxe calzone. It had peppers, onions, pepperoni in it, and I will leave a link to the place down below if you're ever in Burbank and looking for a good calzone. I highly recommend. Next up, this is one of my favorite meals dating back to my childhood. It is so simple, but when I came back from my vacation, I didn't want to go too heavy into the cooking. I wasn't really feeling it, so I decided to keep things nice and simple, and I was really in the mood for some turkey and cranberry on croissant. That is one of my favorite things to eat. I will never turn down turkey and cranberry on a croissant. I don't know if y'all could hear that, but a real loud truck just went by. Sorry if you could hear that, and if you couldn't, sorry for that as well. So I have these mini croissants, so I'm doing 2, and on each one I'm putting some cranberry sauce down on the bottom, and then slicing in half a little slice of provolone cheese so that it covers the whole croissant evenly, throwing some sliced turkey on there, and that's that. And then I had some of my favorite snack, which is Munchie Mix. So I just added that to the side, and this was a really fast dinner and a really easy dinner, but still so satisfying. Next up is what I am dubbing Thanksgiving in July, because this was July when this meal was happening. I had turkey gravy still in my pantry from last Thanksgiving. Luckily, that jarred turkey gravy doesn't go bad for a real long time, but since I had turkey from the turkey sandwiches and I've been trying to use up that turkey gravy somehow, I decided to give this a try. All I'm doing is putting my gravy and some of that deli turkey together until it heats through. I had seen Megan over at Megan's Kitchen do a chicken and dressing, and it reminded me that I had stuffing still from Thanksgiving in my freezer because I had made so much that I froze a few containers of it, and I had not used any of it. So I defrosted it, I heated up a little bit of it in the microwave. I also made some instant mashed potatoes, really simple, but also something that I had in my pantry that needed to be used up. So I made the rest of the box, cleared that out, cleared the stuffing out of my freezer, used up some of this deli meat in a way other than my turkey and cranberry sandwiches, had some cranberries on top. Thanksgiving in July. And then another turkey recipe. This one is a turkey sandwich. When I was in Vegas for my birthday, my mom and I went to the at-home store, and I saw this maple bacon onion jam in the checkout lane and decided that sounded delicious. So I got some of that. I normally don't have sliced bread on hand, but when I bought the turkey, if you bought 2 packages of deli meat, you got a free loaf of bread, and I wasn't going to turn down a free loaf of bread. So I use, again, my provolone cheese that I had on my croissants, and then some of the jam, some of the turkey, and then I grilled this up like a grilled cheese. I put the cheese side down first so that my cheese would get nice and melty without that jam soaking in too much to the bread so it wouldn't get really soggy. I put a little bit of butter down and then let that cook up on one side. Let that cheese start to melt a little bit. Once it does and it's nice and brown on the bottom, add a little bit more butter to my pan, flip my sandwich over, and toss that on until it is done. I served this up with a salad that I had prepped for lunches for the rest of the week. Had some cucumber, bell pepper, cheese, spinach, a little bit of lettuce, and good to go with that sandwich. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you all found inspiration from this video. Let me know in the comments down below which of these recipes you would like to try. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you'll hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. And also, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, what are you waiting for? Thank you so much. Have a great day.